What makes a perfect leader? It's a question we debate all the time, right? But what if there was an ancient blueprint? I mean, what if thousands of years ago, a single, incredibly detailed question kicked off one of the world's greatest epics? Well, today, we're diving into that very question and the surprisingly specific answer it got. Now, this wasn't just some casual philosophical thought. This was a profound challenge posed by one of the most revered sages in history to a celestial being, someone who literally knew the past, the present, and the future. So yeah, the stakes were pretty high. So let's set the scene. You have the great sage Valmiki, and he goes to see Narada, the knower of the three worlds. But Valmiki isn't there for just a bit of simple wisdom. No, he's on a mission. He wants to find a single person who embodies the absolute peak of human virtue. And get this, it wasn't a vague question like, hey, who's a good person out there? Oh no, Valmiki came prepared. He laid out a whole checklist, a comprehensive list of 16 very specific, very demanding qualities that this one ideal person had to have. And this is no ordinary to-do list, let me tell you. Valmiki was looking for someone who was both powerful and righteous, grateful and truthful, someone who was a benefactor to all living things, not just some, all. Someone who had totally mastered their own emotions, conquering anger and envy. And then, and this is the real kicker, a warrior so powerful that even the gods would be a little nervous about their righteous anger. The bar wasn't just high, it was in another dimension. So after hearing this incredible, almost impossible list, the all-knowing Narada doesn't just laugh it off. He actually acknowledges how hard it is, saying, finding someone with all of these qualities is super rare. But then, he says it's not impossible. And this is the moment, right here, where the epic really gets going. Narada seems almost excited by the challenge. He confirms that he does in fact know of such a man, and he just tells Valmiki to listen. You can just feel the anticipation building. I mean, who could possibly meet every single one of these criteria? The answer is a single name: Rama. Narada reveals that there is a prince, born into the legendary lineage of King Ikshvaku, who is the living embodiment of every single one of those virtues. He is the answer. He's the one Valmiki was searching for. So who is this perfect man, really? Well, Narada doesn't just drop the name and leave. He provides a complete anatomy of the hero, breaking down exactly how Rama fulfills every single item on that impossible checklist. He starts with Rama's physical presence, which is really seen as a reflection of his inner character. He's described as this mighty figure, broad shoulders, strong arms, a noble head, and a shining complexion. Every little detail is meant to project strength and this sense of divine favor, of auspiciousness. But his qualities go so much deeper than just the physical. He's called a Dharmagya, a knower of Dharma. Now, this is a huge deal. Dharma isn't just about following the rules. It's the cosmic and moral order of the entire universe. It means he instinctively understands what's right, what his duty is, and especially his absolute commitment to protect anyone who seeks his refuge. It's really the core of who he is. Okay, these next two qualities are just fascinating. First, he's as accessible to good people as the sea is to rivers. Think about that image. It's this idea of an infinite, welcoming capacity. But at the same time, even in moments of the most extreme grief, his mind stays completely calm, totally unperturbed. This mix of being so open and yet so incredibly strong inside, it's just amazing. And intellectually, Rama is an absolute powerhouse. He's described as a great intellectual, a master of all the scriptures, with a memory that is literally infallible. He's talented, well-spoken, and an expert in statecraft. So he's not just a good person. He's incredibly wise and strategic, someone who always knows the right thing to do at exactly the right time. To really get across the sheer scale of his character, Narada has to go beyond human comparisons. He says Rama's prowess is like the god Vishnu. His patience, it's like the earth itself. His anger, when it's for a just cause, it's like an all-consuming fire. His generosity is like Kubera, the actual god of wealth, and his steadfastness is as reliable as the sun. I mean, these are cosmic-level virtues. So what's the point of all these virtues? Are they just abstract ideals? Not at all. As Narada explains, these qualities have a direct, powerful, real-world consequence, especially when we start talking about leadership. And right here is where it all comes together. It was because Rama had this perfect character, and because he was always focused on the welfare of his people, that a natural conclusion had to follow. His personal virtue was completely tied to the public good.
And that conclusion was this. His father, King Dasaratha, wanting the absolute best for his kingdom, decided to make Rama the heir apparent. Rama wasn't chosen just because he was the oldest. He was chosen because his perfect character made him the perfect leader. It was a decision made for the benefit of everyone.
And that kind of brings us full circle back to today. This blueprint, one that values righteousness, self-control, wisdom, and above all else, a deep, unwavering commitment to the good of the people, it was laid out thousands of years ago. And it leaves us with a pretty important question. What can this ancient vision of the perfect leader teach us about who we choose to follow now?